Harmony, Mr. Delfaro, I know you're one of the people who was really affected. You had some equipment on the ground that you had just brought in. I remember that lamentation. But I want to talk about, the way forward. A lot of negatives have been derived from positive, but Lisa mentioned some of the positives. What positive would you say you derived from the COVID experience? And going forward, how will that help your business be better or not? You tell me.
Thank you very much. Permission to stand. I want to use this opportunity to say thank you to everyone and how delighted I am to be on the same panel with the likes of Mr. Olisa, Uwayen, and my boss, Mr. Eddie Lawane. Talking about the positive side of COVID-19, that's something a whole lot of people find difficult to embrace. But on a lighter note, a whole lot of us would have lived the full circle of our lives without coming across the word palliatives, right? You see, we all know that word now, thanks to COVID. Like most of the speakers before me had said, COVID helped a whole lot of brands. There were those who lost and those who gained. A typical example of that would be Zoom. Because of COVID, it enhanced virtual meetings, which is what sold products like Zoom. And today, the owner of Zoom is among the 400 most richest men in the world. Now, that became an inspiration for us at Delfaro Production. We sat down, we had lots of time. Before that time, before COVID, all we could think of was how to render services to you. But COVID gave us the time to spend with family, and after spending 1 or 2 weeks, we became bored at some point. And so we started thinking of how to, like UK has said, utilize the equipment that had just come in. And so we started thinking of how to create contents of our own. We, like Mr. Lisa said, he tried, and sometimes he fails, but it doesn't stop him. Same thing. We tried a product called Virtual Connect, where we wanted to have a virtual concert. It didn't work out because of sponsorship. That was a difficult time for brands to sponsor any event of such. We tried that, it didn't work. We moved to the next one, which was Tiny Town, a TV series that centered around Calabar. It didn't work out at that point, but I promise you, it still will work out. We will make sure Tiny Town is a product to be sold out to the world. After that, it didn't work out. We moved on to the next one, which was Right of Supremacy, a comedy show. That was a success. And then the next one was a Praise Concert, a gospel show. That was a huge success. I think for now, Praise Concert remains the biggest gospel concert in Calabar, thanks to the Delfaro Production and our partners, TRS. Now, talking about the post-COVID landscape, like Mr. Lisa has said, there is no expert in that. We learn that by the day. We thank God it didn't go worse than it got. We are happy that activities are beginning to resume. We have, I think for me, there's a thin line between the effect of COVID and the effect of the End SARS protest. Because in this part of the world, which is where we come from, my subject is domicile around here. In this part of the world, we were affected by COVID because concerts were shut, and so we couldn't render services. We had to stay back. But what affects us in Calabar, or affected us mostly in Calabar, is the End SARS protest, which ended up in the massive looting that caused the government to now shut down the borders. You can all remember that during COVID, when we had the lockdown in the rest of the country, Calabar wasn't shut. We still had, which is why Uwayen was still able to have her 20 people weddings. So we got directly affected by the outcome of that End SARS protest, which is where the government put the lockdown, the curfew, which is what has affected Calabar, that dwells on nightlife. Now you go out by 10 p.m. and the entire place is as good as towns we do not understand. So we, as the Alfaro production and as a people, will have to, like they have rightly said, share ideas. You have an idea you think is going to help improve the event space. You share it to the next person and you rub minds and forge ahead. Just like Zoom did, I believe we can proffer solutions to any problems we have before us and move from there.
Thank you very much, Harmony. Thank you.